In this week's Maimer, the Alter Rebbe begins with the words, the quote, "V'shavti b'shalom beis avi." And the Maimer speaks about Yaakov, and especially the name Yaakov. Because when you look at the spelling of the name, says the Alter Rebbe, it's Yud Eikev. The Yud represents, the smallest letter represents, the highest quality within consciousness, the beginning of the construction of mind, the beginning when there's a flow from subconsciousness to consciousness, the spark of illumination that begins a thought process but is yet totally incoherent because it's a mere spark. And then that spark elaborates into a fully fledged idea. So that spark is represented by the sphere of Chochmah. Chochmah being the highest of the spheres, the one that connects to the next highest world. And when we're speaking of the highest world of Atzilus, it means it connects to the Ein Sof, the very source. On the other hand, the rest of Yaakov's name, Eikev, heel, the bottom of the foot. So there's an internal, irreconcilable top and bottom. It's like there's an internal conflict. The Yud and the Eikev, the highest point of consciousness and the lowest point of connection to physicality. But this represents Yaakov's purpose in life. His purpose in life to elevate the Eikev, the lowest level, the physical world, to the highest state of godliness, the Yud. And then the Alter Rebbe quotes from Bereshis, and he says, there's a verse that says, "V'nahar yotzeh me'Eden," a river left the area known as Eden, and lahashkes es hagan, and the purpose was to water the Garden of Eden, which is a product of Eden. And from there, after watering the garden, Misham Yapare, there it separates. We understand that in much deeper perception of what's internal within the words, that we have the Gan, the Eden within us, the highest level, and that's beyond the consciousness level. And then there is a need to be able to draw from that to water the garden, to maintain our sense of mindful appreciation of life and our purpose in life, why we were created. And it separates into various places, into various rivers, so to speak, rivulets. So you have the source, the Mayan, the fountainhead, and then you have the river that flows from it, which then separates into rivulets. That's Chochmah, the fountain, the source of consciousness, and then Bina, the analysis, the understanding, the capacity to be able to explore what's inherent within that source and tease it out into a fully fledged concept with many different aspects, many different rivulets. So this is inherent within the name Yaakov. So let's spend a few moments taking a meditation to help us understand our inner self, our inner consciousness, based on the name Yaakov and based on this pasuk in Bereshis of the fountainhead and the way we draw from it. So gently close your eyes and just become aware of your headspace. There are many different pieces of machinery in your head, but primarily the brain. And just sense the soul, the energy, the force flowing through the machinery of the brain, resulting in what you and I would call consciousness, but just the beginning of consciousness. Do you have a thought in mind? Not yet. But you will inevitably produce something from nothing, from subconsciousness into consciousness, from the highest realm to here, the lowest realm, from the Yud into the Eikev. So just allow a thought to enter into your mind, whatever it might be. And just observe that thought elaborating. It might be something you're wearing. And then you analyze its colors, its shape, its texture. You have drawn from the fountainhead, Chokhmah, and allowed the analytical process of Bina to take over. You have drawn from Eden, the fountainhead. It waters Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, producing different features of analysis. And then it separates into even more diverse pieces of information, analytical insights, just as the verse in Bereshit states. You have the Yaakov element firmly embedded within you. Our task to elevate the Eikev, the heels that touches the ground, the physical world, and elevate it back to its highest spiritual state through the study of Torah and the doing of mitzvahs. Gently open your eyes, coming all the way back, recalling the mission for this week, carrying it out to the extent possible.